Hello, friends, and welcome back to 20 Questions With. For those of you who are new here, this is my fun way of introducing you to other costumers and costubers by asking them 20 silly questions. Today, we are talking to none other than Amanda of JediManda. Welcome to my channel.
Thank you. Thanks, Noelle. Thanks for the invite. I'm so excited to chat.
I am such a massive fangirl. Like, you have no idea.
Stop it.
I got like even my husband who I show all the cosplay to, and like I mean I've been to Dragon Con, so I've seen some fairly impressive cosplay before, but like your Doctor Strange blew my mind.
It is my baby.
Yeah.
My Doctor Strange is my favorite costume to wear at a convention. However, Baby Yoda is a close second because it's just adorable.
Yeah.
And it's Baby Yoda / Grogu. But Doctor Strange, for some reason, it's just like gravity. People just love it. They want to come up and see it and they want to like touch it. And I'm like,
I want to touch it.
You can, I will allow it. I will allow it. The best part is that most people ask first before they just, but sometimes I felt a random hand behind my back, just kind of like, meh. And I'm like, would you like to know about the clothes? And they're like, oh yeah, I just wanted to make sure it was real. And I'm like, it's real.
It's really real, for reals.
For really reals.
Yeah. I put a picture of this on the screen. I don't ever put pictures of people's costumes on, but this is the one. This is like probably my favorite costume of all time that anyone has ever worn.
What?
Yeah. Really? And I've seen some shit. Like
that is a huge badge of honor, Noelle. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. And Doctor Strange is my favorite Marvel character. He will always be my favorite Marvel character. And I just want to point out that I'm cosplaying Doctor Strange, not Stephanie Strange. For some reason, people are like, oh, she's a woman, so she must be Steph. I'm like, who is that? Who is Stephanie Strange? Okay, no, it's Doctor Strange.
I have that Iron Man bustle dress, and people are always like, oh, you're Iron Man. And what I'm like, no, I'm not. No,
I'm Iron Man. Move on.
Yeah. Can you tell us about your channel and your Instagram and all that stuff?
Yes, I have a channel like Noelle here, and I do cosplay, cosplay. And right now I'm doing a vlog series on making Ahsoka Tano, who is right behind me. And I do weekly vlogs. You come and see what I'm doing. Like last week was absolute chaos. This week's actually going pretty good. It's different every week, but yes, I do cosplay centered around mostly Star Wars and Marvel. However, I'm dipping toes into other media. My next cosplay is actually going to be from Titanic. I'm making Rose.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Since the pandemic's kind of slowed down content and like fresh concept art from stuff besides what I'm already making, I'm kind of digging in my bucket of things I've always wanted to make.
Yep.
And the boarding dress, the stripy stripe,
yep,
has been on my list. And I was like, let's do it. So I bought the fabric. It's right there. I'm looking right at it.
I think I co-feed into that project.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. So like if you're interested in helping out with projects, sometimes costumers do co-feed drives where they ask for any spare change you got so that they can help build their thing.
It's honestly one of the best things out there. It's a very simple crowd fund. If anybody has any questions, Ko-fi is just basically like a tip jar, a virtual tip jar. And you can go in and you can see what the person's gathering money for. And if you like what they want to do, tip them or do something like that. And I will write the name of every one of my Ko-fi supporters into my costume.
Oh, wow,
so
that's cool.
You can be a part of my costume. So your name is going to be on my body.
Yes. Well, I'm excited for you to do a little historical. Yeah. So if you are into this channel, which is largely vlogs and me yammering on about how I do things, you are going to love her because she actually shows you how to do things.
Yes. Honestly, it's pretty similar. I do the weekly vlogs. I also have like base tutorials on like one full thing. I do a lot of breakdowns of costumes. I've done stuff from The Witcher. I'm mostly known for Ahsoka because I've done her headpiece a couple times in my YouTube tutorials for that. But yeah, pretty much cosplay all the things. That's me.
Yeah, I highly suggest you go over there and give her a follow and check out her videos because they are amazing and they're fun to watch. And she also teaches you a lot of really interesting things that you would be surprised how much is, even if you're like a strictly historical costumer, the things that she will teach you transfer over. It's like more about how to think through a problem in some cases than it is actually the problem.
I love problem solving in cosplay because I love being able to research and design a thing and then bring it to your wallet, buy the thing. And then once you get the stuff, you're just like, all right, what am I doing? And like, I like helping you figure out, I'm like, okay, your character's Ariel. What's the first one we're going to tackle? Let's tackle her hair first. Because that's
obviously,
iconic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like once you kind of tackle the iconicness of the character, that gives you fuel to continue on through. And I feel like that's really important for a lot of new cosplayers and people getting into costume making in general.
Yeah. And I find that like always the wig is the hard part. Like
for most people it is. Yes. That's not a wig, but it was difficult.
Yeah.
So headpieces for some reason, they're tough. And I think it's because, which is weird, because I feel like we can like pop them off the head, you know, the canvas head, put it on our head and like try it on and look at them much easier than I can take this thing off.
For real.
I don't know why, but like I find these so hard.
Yeah.
That's why for Rose, I am not looking forward to that hat, because that is a showstopper of a hat, that big purple hat.
Yeah. I'm
she
trying
like
to
gets
think.
out of the cab and she's like, huh, Titanic, it's not big enough.
I like to checkbook engineer some of these problems, and usually head things that aren't hats themselves are the thing that I will actually checkbook engineer, but that one I would 100% checkbook engineer.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I need some help.
Okay. I love making hats. I'm like one of the weirdos that's like, yes to hats.
I don't have that much millinery experience. I mean, most of my stuff I've made have been like Leikus, you know, or small hats, but mostly I've done wigs for all of my stuff. I'm like looking, my Queen Amidala's, those are more head sculptures.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call them a hat. It's a head sculpture that requires a lot of stuff on top of my head and balance it around like the Chiquita banana lady.
Yeah. Some of the things about those in some ways intimidate me less than natural looking hair, because one of my friends here who they do HCC cosplay, a whole bunch of them did a panel at one point, and they said something that blew my mind about wigs. It's not your hair. You can use glue.
Yeah.
So just glue it and then cover it with other hair so that it looks natural on top, but the inner structure does not. You can glue it. You can do whatever you need to do to make that. You can put PVC in there. It's all fine.
It's a really strange like headspace you have to be in when you're making these sculptures for your head, and like it's okay to allow super glue to contact wig fibers. You're not gonna. You don't need to brush it. I promise you. Like when I was making my Captain Marvel helmet, she has these blonde spikes, you know, that have lights through them. And I'm like, I'm going to have to glue these things together. It's going to look like hair and it's going to be hair. But the whole way of doing it is not how I do hair.
Right.
It's fascinating. I love it.
It is. Are you ready to play 20 questions?
Bring it on.
If you were a candy bar, what candy bar would you be and why?
What candy bar would I be? I'm gonna have to say, I'm trying to hold it away from like my favorite candy bar.
Yeah.
And like what I have, because like my favorite candy bar is Twix. However, I feel like a peppermint patty.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm cool on the inside and also cool and mysterious on the outside, like dark chocolate. But when you bite into me, was a York peppermint patty. What was that? It's like I'm standing on a mountaintop. We're going with it. I'm a York peppermint patty.
Oh, you got a little zing and you're refreshingly minty.
Well, it's weird because when people meet me, they're like, oh, it's cool. But like, if you really like meet me and know what I do, it's weird and odd. So it's like you're standing on a mountaintop, Noelle.
Yeah, it's like you're standing on a mountain. Like, oh man, that commercial. What did you want to be when you grew up?
Is there an age? You're asking me this? Oh, Lord have mercy.
All of these questions are super open-ended.
I love it. So I think at one point when I was in preschool, I wanted to be a librarian.
Oh, yeah.
I don't read a lot of books, and I hate to say that to people because they're like, what? And I'm like, I don't have time. And I grew up on comic books. So librarian for a comic book shop, maybe that's fine.
By
But
the
I
way,
think
she wrote a book
uh,
about cosplay.
I did.
Yeah.
That is something I would have never, my younger self would have never picked, as I was not a English person per se, but we can talk about that later. I did write a book, but
I'll link the book down below. You guys should go check it out. It's awesome. It's a great book. Yeah.
Yes, please. Definitely in the arts. So I wanted to be a Disney animator. I think like every other 90s kid that had art skills.
Yep.
But when I went to college, it changed around, and honestly, I still don't know.
I'm kind of there.
yeah. Because I fell into costuming.
Yeah.
I did not start doing, I did it because of a requirement for I went to school for fine art, painting actually, and my portrait subjects were women and cool outfits. Well, my models sucked at bringing cool outfits. And I was like, what do I do, mentor? And the mentor was like, there's costume design classes here at school. Why don't you try that? And I was like, costuming's really cool. I've always loved Halloween and I love painting fabric, and I just like fabric, but I never made anything for myself. I don't know why I didn't learn how to sew when I was younger. But anyways, I took the sewing classes, and I was like, I love this. And
that's amazing.
I fell into all of this, got jobs in theater, and then started cosplaying, and now I'm here. So yeah, that's a weird answer to that, but that's it.
I'm like, what did I want to be? I think I wanted to be a marine biologist for a really long time. And then I found out, so I'm actually allergic to shellfish, and I can't even eat regular fish because it makes I'm not allergic to it, but I get sick every time I eat it.
You get sick. My father's like that.
So I found out at some point that if you're a marine biologist, you catch all your food when you're out on research vessels, because then they don't have to carry so much stuff. So it's a thing. And I'm like, I mean, you can do it, but you're kind of like the weird kid. And I know I'm already the weird kid. So like,
I understand that.
Yeah.
And I understand that. Now I'm kind of like thinking about some other wild career ideas I had when I was a kid. I wanted to be a classic rock DJ.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You'll kind of do like, welcome to SFRX 21 on the low M of FM. I still kind of do, but the problem is my classic rock is now my music. So
yeah. Man, I want to be a DJ so bad. Like,
I just like to talk for a long time. That's pretty
YouTube is the place for you.
And I've been here for quite some time.
Yeah. Okay, if you could learn any one skill in the world without trying, like Matrix style, what would you pick?
Well, I did watch The Matrix the other night, so I guess Kung Fu.
Would you actually?
I mean, honestly, like a martial art. Yeah, because I did Taekwondo when I was a kiddo, because I did Taekwondo because I really liked Trinity and The Matrix, and so I tried to learn martial arts. It didn't last long, but it was fun. Whatever. But yeah, there you go. That is what I've always wanted to learn, a skill, and to be able to just like have that knowledge and kind of walk and be like, if anybody comes at me, I just,
I'm like woodworking. I want to learn how to be a really great woodworker instantly, because like in my head, I can see the montage of me learning to be a good woodworker. I don't want to go through that. Like I'm a montage thinker.
I like that. I don't know why martial arts popped in my head. I could have been like LED work, Amanda, or 3D modeling.
No, but you already do that.
No, not really. But I've dabbled in it. I'm dabbling in it. I have my first LED set.
I watched you do it. You did it.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. I guess I just like, when I think about skill sets creatively, I'm always like, oh yeah, I'll attempt it. No big deal. Like, let's do it. Give me the stuff, $50 on Amazon, give me the supplies, let's do it. But if I'm thinking like outside the creative loop of something that I've always wanted to have, it's been a martial art.
That's awesome. Yeah. I have no art skill. It's weird. I mean,
that's so false. You have an art skill. It's called costume making and garment making. That's a skill.
but that's the thing is like every idea for a costume I have is me. My skill is to take other disparate things and mash them together and then use a pattern.
But that's impressive though. There's a lot of people out there that can't do that. And that boggles their mind when they think of that. And that's one of the reasons I wrote the book that and, you know, it is a skill to be able to look at a garment and break it down into seams and like, you know, pieces and stuff like that. That's a really big skill, and it's kind of empowering. I really love being able to do that as well, being like, I can make anything.
Yeah. I just wish I had like some like basically I wish I could draw. Like I'm not good at that. Like when people are like, can you show me what it is that you're creating? I'm like, no, it's in here. I'll get there. You'll see. It'll be fine, but it's not coming out.
The drawing part of it is tough for people who don't have any kind of drawing background. It's a tough one. And so, I mean, I learned in school how to draw things, and I can draw people pretty well, but you can break it down to where you can like, there are, you know, 10 heads on top of each other and everything is a triangle and a pyramid and stuff like that. There's ways to break it down, but I get you on that. I know that feeling. I have done this. Like, I just suck. And I'm like,
I've done this class. It looks like a stick figure with a triangle dress on when it's done.
Hey, that is a form of some kind of postmodern impressionism that you can pass in like some way. You know, we can put that in a gallery. It's okay.
In 200 years, when people realize what a genius I am, that will be worth money.
Hey, let's do it.
Yeah.
I want one of them.
All right, I'll send you one. What's something that a lot of people are missing out on because they don't know about it?
Well, honestly, I think cosplay is one. But I honestly think it's a very important hobby that exists.
Yeah. Especially
in our fandom pop culture love that we all have. Because there are very few people that I know that don't like a fandom.
Yeah.
And to be able to express the fandom in this way, in this route, is really empowering. And I wish everyone, you know, would try it one time if they really love a thing. If you don't like Star Wars as much as I do, and you just want to buy the toys, go for it.
Yeah.
Bless you. But that's not how I show my love. But honestly, I really think cosplay helps a lot of people through a lot of things in their life. And I think it's an extremely important hobby that is very validating for a lot of people.
It really is. It makes you feel like a superhero, believe it or not.
It really does.
It really does.
Yeah. No matter what you do with your costume, whether you just make it for a photo shoot or you're, you know, prancing around on a convention floor, it's whatever you do, being able to step out of yourself and then to get into something else, it's fascinating. I love it. Such a good feeling.
Yeah. I was reading this interesting article like a few days ago, and it was about how this Gen X and also fandoms in general are a product of Gen X, which I'm like, yeah, Gen X in the house. Because we are the first generation in all of history to have enough disposable income that we can spend our money on recreating our childhood.
That's so true.
Yeah. And so
I'm like thinking about my parents and I'm like, they didn't do that.
Right. So yeah, like boomers didn't do it. Like they don't have fandoms. And I mean, some boomers do. Like my mom's a boomer. She really loves Star Trek. So like, but it would never occur to her to spend her money recreating, because she didn't have it in her childhood. And so it would never occur to her to spend her money buying toys or lunchboxes or creating cosplays or any of the things that we all do. Like I have comic book art on my wall because that's what I'm doing, right? So it's a really, like, Gen X gets a lot of shade because we're the apathetic. I'm actually a Xennial, which is the millennial Gen X.
You're at the cusp, and I'm an elder millennial, apparently.
Yeah. We're very close to each other. Xennials have things from both things. Like I'm very excited about things, which is not very Gen X, but I also have a cynicism that Gen X has. So, but it is the one gift apparently that Gen X gave to the world.
I love that. I'm going to tell that to all my Gen X friends and be like, thank you.
Yeah. We decided to blow our money on stupid stuff. It's great.
Hey, every time I don't know, a friend of mine does a different hobby, or I'm like, why are you getting into that? And I kind of think, I'm like, my hobby's really weird too. You do you. Like,
yeah,
everybody
sure.
can do what they want. If you want to take up quilting, go for it.
Yep.
That's just not my hobby.
Yeah. You want to do that van conversion? More power to you.
Go for it.
Who is the most interesting person you have ever met?
Okay, so this sounds really terrible because I can't remember his name, but I'm just gonna point it out there. His name was Nick. I know. He was the fight stunt choreographer for the prequels.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I'll never forget. This is one of my favorite cosplay moments linked into this. Before I was trouncing around in a bunch of Star Wars characters, I actually cosplayed Mortal Kombat first. And I went to Cincinnati Comic Expo 2014.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna put that in 2014. And he was one of the guests that were there. And I did not know who this person was. I was like, I love Star Wars, but I don't know the stunt coordinator fights. I don't know their names, sorry. But I had a group. We were Katana, Melina, Sindel, and Jade. We walked right past. It's not in there. Oh. We walked past his booth and he got so excited. And he just came out from his booth. Nobody was there at the time. And he was like, I'm a huge fan of Mortal Kombat. I'm a fight stunt coordinator. Like, I love martial arts. And I'm like, that's awesome. Whatever. And then he told me what he did. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you worked with Ewan McGregor? My first crush? Excuse me, sir.
Can I touch you? So then it's like touching him?
I was like, is this like, can I? Yeah. And he told us, he was like, yeah, I choreographed the fight scenes for the prequels. And I was like, excuse me? And I was like, holy cow, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. My name's JediManda. I don't know anything about Mortal Kombat. Let's talk about Star Wars. And I just remember him talking about like, yeah, it was really cool. We got to do all these things. It was long hours. And it was really hard because a lot of, apparently Ewan and Hayden would mouth the pew pew and the shing shing things when they would be training and stuff like that. And so he was like, had a really hard time with that, but they did a really good job. And like, I just remember talking with them. I'm like, I just never realized that I would meet someone from Star Wars, any way, shape, and form. And lo and behold, I met the person that made, honestly, the reason the prequels, I'm a prequel stan. I think they're great.
Controversial bonus question number 2. How do you feel about the prequels?
I think they're great. If it wasn't for the prequels, I would not be into Star Wars. So that's my Star Wars. So yeah, Attack of the Clones is rough.
I think hands down, the prequels have the best costumes. Like
they have the best costumes. They have
there's
the best
no argument.
Music.
Yep.
That's a hot take. Best music, best fights, best sets, best the CGI is not great. We'll give that one to the sequel trilogy. Great CGI.
The writing is not that great.
No, it's terrible. The script is god awful, but the bet I love Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. Hayden Christensen Anakin's fine. I love Natalie Portman as like everything about it is great, except there's large holes of just that sucked.
Yeah,
and that's what people really like latch on. But
the Jar Jar effect.
I met the person that made one of the reasons the prequels were awesome. So I was like, that was really cool, and that was one of my first convention memories. So that's why
cool.
Yeah. That's
really cool. I met Bill Gates once and he was really nice.
That's really cool.
I live in Silicon Valley though. So I've actually, and I lived in LA for a lot of my life. So I've actually met, and I've also been to, I went to Comic-Con for like 18 years. So I met a lot of famous people over
That's so cool. I feel like you just go get coffee at the same coffee shop Bill Gates is. You're like, hello, Mr. Gates. How's your wife? How's Melinda?
Well, he lives in Seattle, but he was down here for the weekend and he went to a thing I went to and he actually talked to me for a little while and it was very interesting. Yeah. I was at this thing called Labyrinth of Jareth in LA, which is
I know what that is.
Yeah, it's for people who don't know, it's a costume party in LA. And it's kind of high key. And
I wouldn't say kind of, I would say it is high key.
It's like they have this whole like goblin fairy court thing that there's like performance arts happening through the whole, it's crazy. And like celebrities show up and they're in masks, so you can't tell that they're celebrities. So you don't know who you're talking to at any given time, but it is a off the chain party when it happens. And I did meet Grant Imahara there. And honestly, that boy's very interesting as well. Also,
Oh,
rip Grant Imahara.
Flip. Yeah. God,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
I would like to meet the Mythbusters, all of them, as much as I can someday. I grew up on that show. I think that's one of the reasons I like building things is Mythbusters.
Yeah. I have a guest room and Adam's shop is not very far from me, so
That wouldn't be creepy at all. Just be like, hey, I know I really like your stuff. You follow me on Instagram.
I know where he gets coffee. I'm just saying.
This just in. Cosplayer hunts down Adam Savage, asks for an autograph and says, I pray to you before convention competitions.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be creepy.
Not at all. How superstitious are you?
Not, but I love the stuff.
Yeah.
Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. I love supernatural. Give me a good ghost story. Let's go hunting. Do I believe it? No.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to. Like, give me some evidence, but I don't believe it.
I claim that when the lights go off, then I start believing in it.
I get it.
I don't like the Japanese girl in the mirror. Like, that's just the one that I'm like, no.
Ooh.
Like with the hair and the like,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Mm-mm.
There are some creepypastas out there that they're freaky. They're really freaky. And
it's actually why I haven't watched Supernatural, because like the second episode is the girl in the mirror episode, and I'm like, no, I'm out. And everyone's like,
oh my God, I think you would love Supernatural because the Winchesters are such doofuses. And so this is so nerdy. I did not. My boyfriend, who's at work right now, he loves Supernatural. That's his big fandom. And if he knows that I'm telling the world this, he's going to get angry with me. But it's fine. And he loves the Winchester Bros. And I remember when we first started dating, because I was like, what's your fandoms? Like, I'm a Star Wars, Marvel. What are you? And he was like, Supernatural. And I was like, what?
Judgy much? Yeah.
Oh, big time. I mean, when you're dating someone, you want to figure out things you have in common.
Yeah.
That was not one.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, that's fine. Cool. And so we started dating, and then he got me into it, and I was like, I like this. It's trashy, but fun and weird and horror. And I love horror stuff. And so I think you'd like it.
I won't watch it because I got to the episode. I'm like, nah. And everyone's like, but you got through the episode and now it's done. And I'm like, no.
If any episode, go watch the Scooby-Doo episode.
Okay.
Or they meet up with the Scooby Gang and it's animated.
Okay.
I said, so you'll kind of get the Winchester brothers, like, way they talk and how they like look about things, because it is very 2000s WB show.
They animated it?
That one episode.
Okay.
That one episode. It's a later season episode where they basically they fall into a Scooby-Doo episode, and it's adorable. It's one of my favorites. But you get the the sense of who they are, plus the comedy factor of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
But like the majority of the seasons, it's drama, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like cheesy drama. That was the CW in 2007.
I do love CW.
I think you'll like it. Just skip those first couple episodes. You'll be fine.
All right, I have to get through Clone Wars first because I'm watching that because of you. Did you know there's like 14 seasons of Clone Wars? But like not all of them are available, I guess, because there's only like 8 on Disney Plus.
I need to figure that out because some people are saying they're backwards or they're missing some episodes and stuff like that. But honestly, if you watch what's there, you get the gist. Okay. The ones that you're missing are not the ones that are like pivotal. Okay. Personally.
Yeah, my husband and I we love it because it's actually they're like 20 minutes and that's how long it takes us to eat dinner. So we I frequently am like, I gotta go make stuff, so I can't spend too long hanging out or whatever, but he's like, we can watch a Clone Wars. So we watch Clone Wars and watch dinner every day, so it's fun.
I love that.
Eat dinner.
What season are you on of Clone Wars right now?
I think 3.
Okay.
Or maybe 4, but 3.
It's gonna start getting good. Ahsoka has a new outfit. Good, you're there.
And they don't. Can you tell me why he calls her Snips?
Because she's really snippy. Like she like bites back and stuff like that, and she's quick.
Okay.
But yeah, he is Sky Guy, and she's Snips because Anakin will say something to her, and she'll snip back with something because Ahsoka is a form of Anakin.
Oh. Uh-huh.
So it's one of the reasons why Anakin has a Padawan and why Yoda gave Anakin a Padawan was to basically calm his shit down.
Yeah, okay.
But the Padawan he got is a mirror of himself.
Right.
And thinking about that the whole way through Clone Wars, you'll understand.
Yeah, yeah. I have a problem because I think he doesn't look like Hayden Christensen to me. Like you know how they all kind of look like their person?
They kind of do. There's an essence, I would
But
say.
he doesn't. He looks like butt chin guy that's the Witcher. He looks like the Witcher.
Henry Cavill.
He looks like Henry Cavill. Like, go look at posters and be like, oh my God, he does look like Henry Cavill.
I can kind of see that now. You say that.
It's more fun that he's Henry Cavill because I'm not a huge Hayden Christensen fan. So I'm like, I'm just going to replace him with this guy because that guy is far better looking.
Yeah. I am also not a huge Hayden Christensen fan. Like I said, my first crush was Ewan McGregor. So I was team Obi-Wan. So when Kenobi comes out, I'm going to be dead for a couple months.
Oh yeah, that's going to be good.
My blood pressure just rose a little thinking about it. I was like, oh.
I'm excited about that. I will watch him do literally anything.
I love Star Wars, Noelle. This is great.
This is gonna be great.
That's gonna be so good.
I'm Moulin Rouge, Ewan.
Okay, that was not my Ewan.
Oh, yeah, I'm older than you.
I remember watching Moulin Rouge and going like, why is he singing?
I love that he's singing.
Where's your lightsabers?
Okay, that's fair. We can agree and then also disagree.
Absolutely. And it's fine.
What book or movie do you wish you could experience for the first time again?
Oh my Lord. It's Star Wars. I'm being nerdy, but it's Star Wars episode 4, New Hope. Honestly, I've always thought about this, like, if you had the chance to time travel back to something, where would you go and why? That is my number one. Like, opening night, 1977, May, don't know the day, but to go and see that with that audience and to see how they feel, how they react, that I would love to see that. Be so cool. Just because it's so weird and like, what? That never happened in the 70s, like that kind of so different. And so that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Zoom back to that night somewhere.
That's cool. That's really cool. I have a fun story about that. I attended all of them, like not the premiere date, but like my mom went to see them all and I was with her in some form or another one. That first one, I was in utero.
That's beautiful. That's so cute.
And the first one I can remember, and I can remember it, is seeing the number 6, the Ewok one. I remember going and seeing it and walking into the theater, and I was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 and something. And I was like, yum, yum.
Oh my goodness.
And I was running around going, for like ever, because that's like the little song. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That is really cool to think, because my first Star Wars I saw in theater was the re-release of episode 1.
Oh my God, I camped
the re-release
overnight.
of episode 4. So 1997.
Yeah.
The re-releases. And that's what started the Star Wars love. Because when I was a kid, I never saw the episode 4, New Hope. I was scared of Empire. Empire scared me. And I didn't like it. And so my dad, who was a huge Star Wars fan, was like, I gotta get my girl into this somehow, And so we watched Return, and I was like, Ewoks, teddy bears, that's really cool. And I love Return of the Jedi. And then he worked backwards, which is weird because I liked Return first. So I knew how it ended, but I didn't know about the whole, mic drop moment in Empire. Yeah. So that hit me way differently than most people.
Yeah.
So I wish I could have experienced it the opposite way, to be like, he's his father? Oh my God. I didn't experience that way.
Right.
But that's how I got into it. And then when they did the re-release special editions in the theaters, my dad was like, here we go. And I was like, let's go. And I liked them. But until the episode 1 came out and Amidala was a thing, that was when I was like, okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
This is mine now. I was at that perfect age of 11 where I was just soaking in all that good Star Wars juice, where I was in love with Ewan. I wanted to be Padme, and man, I wanted to be a Jedi. So
wow. For the re-release and for episode 1, both of them, I slept in a parking lot for 2 days in a camp to get to get tickets.
Oh,
because we didn't have these.
Yeah,
you couldn't go get tickets online. You had to go to the theater to get the tickets. So we slept in this giant line for 2 days for both of those movies, me and a whole bunch of friends. It was actually really fun. We were like fresh out of college. It was like, fun times.
That's another thing I would like to beam back to. That episode 1 premiere. Is I don't remember what we did. I was 11. I know my dad got the tickets, but I know we saw it like after the opening, a couple days down the line kind of thing. But I mean, I definitely remember standing in line for tickets for stuff. I remember midnight movie premieres.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what we went and saw.
Yeah. I miss
that. Yeah, I do too. I mean, we still have midnight movie premieres here. When it's not a pandemic.
When it's not a pandemic. Yeah. I made a tweet today that was like, staying up till 3 a.m. felt similar to standing in line at a midnight movie premiere to watch the finale for WandaVision. I was like, I was weirdly nostalgic.
Yeah.
Kind of nice. I was half asleep, but like really excited about it.
Man, I've slept overnight in so many places for tickets. Like mostly concerts. Like back in the day, like you could call Ticketmaster, but that wasn't a thing that was going to happen. You weren't going to get tickets really. So if you wanted tickets, like I remember sleeping overnight in a parking lot for REM tickets when I was in high school.
That's a mood.
Yeah.
That's an aesthetic right there. That's an aesthetic. Like I need what was in the car? What were you playing? Like what food were you eating?
Tacos. I'm always eating tacos.
Good.
Yeah. We were listening to REM, obviously. Yeah. It was very fun, actually. Like it's one of those things that I'm shocked my mother let me do because I wasn't old enough to like do that on my own. And I went with a friend of mine who's a dude, so I'm also shocked she let me do that, but we are still pals, me and this guy. And so she was like, yeah, go ahead. And I was like, I'm gonna go right now before you figure out what I just actually asked you to do.
I love that. That.
Yeah, it was cool. What fictional world or place would you like to visit?
Man, there's a lot of Star Wars question.
One world, you get one world.
One world. And this is a world, not a fandom?
Right.
Okay.
Fictional world or place.
I mean, honestly, it would have to be Naboo.
Oh, okay.
Naboo. It didn't blow up. It's still standing as of canon. So I wouldn't say Alderaan.
Good call.
Well, but I think the sets of Naboo, I think, are the most beautiful in the prequels. So I'd have to go with that one. I'd also say, because I was going to say something Marvel-y, but no, no Marvel. We'll just go.
I feel like if you want to avoid injury, you should stay away from Marvel.
Because I was gonna say, I'd like to like see the Marvel people in action, but I'm like, no, Earth is always in danger.
Yeah. Side question: are they making a Mortal Kombat movie?
Well, I guess they are. It comes out April 17th on HBO Max and in theaters.
Oh, you're like hashtag ad.
I wish. Oh, I've been trying, but they haven't reached out to the influencers on that one. But yes, it is a Mortal Kombat movie. It is round 4 or 5 try. Yeah. Because the first two, the first one is good. I like it.
Is that Raul Julia?
Oh.
Is he in that?
No. That's Street Fighter.
Oh, it is Street Fighter. Okay. Yeah.
That's okay.
I keep forgetting that they made a Street Fighter movie.
Yes. It's trash.
It's trash.
Oh, it's trash. And the second Mortal Kombat movie is absolute trash, but is in my top favorite bad movies. Okay. I love Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Oh, it's so bad. But the first Mortal Kombat was good, but it's definitely camp of the time, early 90s. Yeah. And so that'll always have like a heart in me, but they did some web series and they did some TV series down the line that were just kind of like a touch of Mortal Kombat, but then the web series from Machinima came and it was good, which is called Legacy. But this is the first, like, let's do it, big motion picture. And I'm just like,
who's in it?
Everybody. Well, as far as like big time celebrities, nobody.
Oh, that's great.
I know. I love it. And the best part about it is like I've been reading and watching all the like behind the scenes director talks and just everything, because this is my video game fandom.
Yeah.
And they're focusing on the fighting. Like we're seeing fatalities. We are seeing some shit go down. It's going to be bloody. And I'm so excited because that's what Mortal Kombat is.
Yeah.
You can't just make Mortal Kombat because it honestly has one of the best lores, storylines of any video game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But they're focusing a whole lot on the martial arts aspect. So everybody that's in it is like doing their own stunts. They're doing everything their own. And it's just like perfection. So there's a couple people that I think you might recognize that are in it, maybe. But it looks great. The trailer is great. I'm just so excited to have it. I'm just hoping it's good because they can continue to make them, because Mortal Kombat's got a bunch of people and I need more.
Have you seen that? Is it The Games That Made Us or something on Netflix?
I haven't seen the games one. I've only watched the toys that made us. Is Mortal Kombat in there?
There's a Games That Made Us one, or maybe it's not called The Games That Made Us, but it's a games one. I'll go find out what it is and I'll send it to you. But one of the episodes is Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat.
I love that. I love that beef because I find it just so dumb that people are like, this is better than the other. But I like to push it just as to be both. That person. You're like, yeah, you like Chun-Li. Well, we were first. Well, I'm like, not really. Actually, they were first. Like, it makes no sense. But it's a fun little back and forth. But yeah.
I mean, Chun-Li does kick ass.
She does. She does. And I don't know much about Street Fighter because I'm like, when I was younger, Mortal Kombat was my thing. And when other people were like, let's play Street Fighter, I'm like, no, we're playing Mortal Kombat. Like, why would you want to play Street Fighter? Ew.
I'm that dick that's like, they're essentially the same game and everyone's like, no, they're not. This one has actual fatalities and this is made by placing people's heads on an animated body and they're actually using kung fu moves. And this game is a first person, and you're just like, well, calm down.
Yeah, that probably would have been me at one point too. Now as I've grown older, I've calmed down. But I definitely was hot like that once.
Yeah, I think they're both fun to play. Like they are different, totally different games, but they're both fun to play. I'm a Legend of Zelda girl, so
I have only played one Legend of Zelda game.
Which one?
Yes.
Okay.
It was on the DS.
Oh, okay.
Phantom Hourglass.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's the only one I've played and I did not get past it.
Okay. I have just, like, for the last 4 years, I've played literally no other game in my life that wasn't on my phone other than Breath of the Wild. I have sunk like 400 hours in Breath of the Wild.
That's impressive.
Breath of the Wild is the most cool and beautiful game I have ever seen in my life.
I really would like to play that. I'm still stuck in Animal Crossing.
I mean, if you have a Switch, go get Breath of the Wild. It's great.
Yes, it's in my little queue. It's like I'm teetering between that and Mario Kart. Like every time I'm like, ooh, I want a new game. I love Mario Kart. Do I want to go Mario Kart? Do I want to get Breath of the Wild?
I feel like I'm gonna put $40 in your Ko-fi and you can just go buy both of them.
Okay. I promise you I might not get to it till next Christmas, but
it's okay. By then they'll have a new Switch out and another Breath of the Wild game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're doing it too. Yeah, I'm basically the place where I'm like almost ready to finish the game, but I haven't been everywhere in the world yet. So I'm just spending all my time running to all the places and you can do this thing called Heroes Path where you see everywhere you've been. So I'm going to all the places I haven't been just to check them out.
See, that's really, I did not care for open world games growing up.
I didn't either. I hate them. I love this game.
That's interesting because my boyfriend, he loves Skyrim. And so that's like
same
uber the open world stuff. And I get into it. I'm just like, I need objectives now. Where are my level buildings and boss fights? Like, that's what I'm used to.
There are those in this game, though. That is what I love about it.
Good.
You get quests, you get side quests, you get sub quests, and then there are boss fights. So, and you, Like you at first just get your ass handed to you constantly, and then there's also like the thing I like about it is there's also like puzzle games in it. Like it's not all fighting, right?
Okay, I like that too. Some of the Mortal Kombats back in the day on the GameCube had some really fun little side puzzle games, and I always like doing that because you just go get your butt handed to you and see some gruesome goriness, and then you can just go play a Tetris version of Mortal Kombat. Like it's a nice palate cleanser.
Yeah. It's a really fun game. Like I don't like open world games at all, and I like fallen in love with this game.
Wow. Good.
I mean,
I'll get there, I promise. I just gotta have time.
I will wait for your text messages screaming when you get there and being like, why did I wait? All right, so you're gonna go to Naboo. That's what we decided.
Yeah, I'm going to Naboo.
Okay. You can have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, and it cannot be money. What is it? Is it sushi? Is it Scotch tape? What?
Free all the time. This is random, but I'm going to do it. Spotify membership.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have to have music or podcast going whenever I work. It's so hard, and I can't watch it because I'm working. So to be able to have constant music, or constant podcast, I will put audiobooks in there, just like shove it in. But like, yes, honestly, that would be awesome. I don't like the prices of things sometimes, but that one I'm like, I gotta keep it because I don't like to have to go farm things on YouTube and make lists, which I like doing sometimes, but sometimes I just like, give me that radio, go. And here we are, and I'm in my mode and I can create.
I've never found a DJ that I vibe with all the way, because like I like all kinds of music. I just like the good parts of each music, and I can't find a DJ that does that. And so I would say like Apple Music, like I'd have to DJ myself. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good one.
If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you choose and why?
Oh, Lord have mercy, Ahsoka. However, I think we would. I don't know if she'd have as much fun as I'd want to. I feel like she'd be real serious all the time.
She's really serious.
She's real serious. I'd just be like, maybe I just want to go for like a training sesh.
Okay? Right. Yeah.
Hang out then. Honestly, probably Linda Belcher. Bob's Burgers. Because I feel like her all the time.
I feel that mood.
Yep. Mommy doesn't get drunk. She just gets fun.
Yeah. My husband is obsessed with Bob's Burgers, so he like powered through that, and I like slid in there for some of them, and I'm like, I haven't seen a funny cartoon in a long time. This is great.
Honestly, as a person I love animation, wanted to be an animator. But when I was younger, I loved watching Family Guy, and I still love Family Guy. And because of Family Guy, I got into American Dad. Because of American Dad, I got into Archer, and like all of these adults. And actually, I never really got into The Simpsons and or South Park. So I'm always like a weird adult animation lover. But like the Bob's Burgers, when Bob's Burgers hit, it hit like perfectly. And it is honestly, I think, the best adult animated show ever, in my opinion, which is high up there because people are like Simpsons, but I'm like, I think Bob's Burgers is great because it's very relatable, it's very funny, it's great writing, and it's just, the cast is amazing. And I just love that family dynamic, being able to watch them and the stuff they do. It's hilarious. It's a weekly thing for me to watch the new episode and to binge a couple seasons while I'm eating lunch or something. I love it.
Have you seen home movies?
Yes, I have seen home movies. I was a big Adult Swim person back in the day, so I saw it all. I liked the ones that I liked, but I remember
home movies, man. That show made me laugh so hard. They do this musical about Franz Kafka in it, where like the writer who wrote The Metamorphosis, about that guy who wakes up and he's a cockroach or whatever, and he's
you're pulling stuff from like
high school. Yeah.
Okay.
So
like anyway, oh my god, episodes of home movies.
And then it was like, here's Franz Kafka, blah blah blah. So my husband and I went to New Zealand, and they have a iceberg there, glacier, called Franz Joseph, because it's named after Franz Joseph of Austria.
That's beautiful.
The entire trip through, we knew we were going there. It was one of the last places, but we were singing "It is Franz Joseph" through the entire trip. It was hysterical.
It is. That's really great. That's
Throwback. I have a weird relationship with South Park and The Simpsons. I want to like The Simpsons and I want to hate South Park. But really, I find The Simpsons super freaking boring. And I think South Park's really funny.
I will have to agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I said once Disney got The Simpsons, like the Disney Plus got Simpsons, I started trying to power through it. I can't get past like season 2. I just can't. I'm like,
The Simpsons is better in retail.
Yeah.
Like when you say, okay, the A storyline is that Bart blah blah blah, and the B storyline is blah blah blah, because there's always an A and B storyline. Like that's all you need to know, and you can be like, I can see how that goes down. And
right.
That's all. There, you don't need a half an hour of it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And there's a couple of funny freaking stuff from South Park that I'm like, that's genius. Or like what the hell? That's Mr. Hanky makes me laugh still, and I'm like, why do I laugh about a Christmas singing poop?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, most of the time South Park is a little bit gross for me. Like I kind of can't handle it, but
I can't handle the voices.
Yeah.
Like that. No.
Yeah.
Back it up.
Yeah. It's really, but when like Chris watches it all the time, and so I hear them all the time, and I'm sitting in my craft room just going.
That's kind of how I got with the Supernatural. Like I just kept hearing Dean and Sam in the background, and I'm like, what's going on?
Also, those boys are not hard to look at.
Or they are not. There's creepy and weird. I they're so weird.
If you could have a personal assistant, what would you have them do?
I'm not sure on that because I'm very independent.
Ooh.
I'm very independent. I like to do the things myself, which sometimes backfires a lot. Ask any one of my friends and they'll say, yeah, that happens. But honestly, an assistant, I really like this. This will go into cosplay. I really like having a handler with me at convention, no matter what I'm doing, even if I'm guesting, competing, or just there in general. Like to have somebody just there who is totally fine with holding my phone and water bottle.
Do you know that that's my favorite job?
Great.
I prefer it to doing that than to be the person in costume. Yeah, I love being a handler.
That's great. I wish more people were out there like that, because there have been a lot of conventions that I've done and I have not had one of those. I've just gone with friends where all of us cosplay and we cosplay hard. So it's not like there's someone who can just like step off to the side and not get all the attention.
Yeah.
All of us are having the attention. So we need something. It's kind of tough.
Yeah.
But just to have someone with me there at a convention, helping me out, cool with what I'm doing, cool with just jamming and being there, that is so nice. It takes a lot of stress off the person in the costume.
It's a great gig too. Like my favorite part of it is when you go, do you want a picture with them? And then you can take their phone and take the picture for them. So you can make sure that that picture doesn't suck, because that's the one that they're going to post of your friend on the internet.
That is a blessing, because I've had the bad ones before and people attack and I'm like, what was I doing?
Don't put that on the internet.
Don't put that on the internet. My face is like, you know, or something like that. I just, you're so right. But yes, handler.
It's a great gig.
It is. And I'm glad you enjoyed it.
If anybody out there is super shy and doesn't want to cosplay, you can still participate by being someone's handler for them, and you will be the most appreciated. And usually you get dinner bought for you. I'm just saying.
That's my deal.
Yeah.
That's my deal. Sometimes I'll even buy the badge for you. I'm like, hey, I'll buy your badge if you just come in and hold my shit. Call
me. I'll come.
Good. Honestly, I might, because I got stuff coming up that I need help with.
Okay.
Yay.
If you could have the power of teleportation right now, where would you go and why?
Is this pandemic status? Because
I did say right now, so.
Well, I don't know if I go anywhere right now.
Okay, let's say not pandemic.
Okay, I mean, not pandemic.
I would go to Disneyland.
I was gonna say, mine's real specific. Are you ready? Okay. Not pandemic. I would teleport myself to the Cava de la Tequila, which is it's the margarita bar in Epcot in the Mexico Pyramid. And I'd poof myself there with a mezcal margarita and chips and a fast pass for Soarin'.
I would go pandemic time to Disneyland because it's completely shut.
Oh yeah, true. everything working and everything. Actually, I just go just to be there, just to have that space.
Yep.
Like I love Disney World. I love it, but I like it for aesthetic reasons. I like to just be there and vibe. Like I don't have to ride every ride. I like the food. I just want to like hear the music and the speakers that are hidden.
Yep. I grew up in Southern California, like 15 minutes away from Disneyland. So
you have that feeling.
Yeah, I that feeling is in my soul. Like Disneyland, and my mom used Disneyland as babysitting for a really long time because season passes used to be like $39. And so she would get me a season pass and then drop me off at the front gate and be like, I'll be back in 4 hours when I was like 9 or 10.
Wow.
Because it's a giant cage. Like
it is a giant cage.
And there is a million people watching you on cameras to make sure you don't get hurt or anything. If you get hurt in Disneyland, they will pick you up and take you somewhere.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And it was the like late 80s, early 90s. And so like people let their kids run amok. So like that was my babysitting. So like
that's really cool.
Yeah. But I am hardcore Disneyland over Disney World.
I'm hardcore World over Land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just depends on where you grew up.
I've been to the land once. I went when I went to D23 in 2017. I went with a friend and we
were there.
Hey. Did you see the costume contest by any chance?
Yeah.
I was Queen Amidala in that.
Oh my God. That's so funny. I think we've actually been in the same space. Like I was at Comic-Con on your first year of Comic-Con, you know, like
that's freaky.
Yeah. I'm sure I've been to other cons where you were at and I just didn't even realize
floating around.
Yeah.
That's really cool. But yeah, I was there 2017 D23. Had a good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then I went to Land and I was like, this is small. But it's a different kind of small.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, but I'm like, I like Epcot a lot.
Oh, yeah. I used to like Epcot a lot when I was a little kid, and then I went there like 7 or 8 years ago, and I'm like, man, this place got run down. I do like a flight of tequila. That particular bar you're talking about is like
the Cava de Tequila. If I can get in there, it's the atmosphere, it's the smells. There's something about that little spot that I'm just like, ooh, that is Amanda vibe right there.
We made the mistake when we went. I went with my mom or my mother-in-law and my husband, like, I don't know, 10 years ago. And I decided to get one drink in every land all the way around.
Oh, honey, no. Oh, no. Oh, no,
I started in England. So it's the opposite side. I didn't even get to Mexico. I got to China and I was like, I'm out.
If you want to find a funny, I have two me being somewhat inebriated at Disney videos on my YouTube.
Okay.
One is called That Wine Walk, where my sister and I do the wine walk at Epcot and it gets a little trashy towards the end. And the other one is my first time at Disneyland and I describe a funny drunken morning experience while walking through the Sleeping Beauty castle. It's really random, but it's there.
All right. I'll go check it out.
Yay.
What is your favorite section in the grocery store and why?
Cheese.
Love
cheese. I go there. There's a couple different grocery stores that I go to, depending on my mood. Because in Louisville, we have all kinds of grocery stores all over the place. But usually it's cheese because it's like a place that I can purely browse and I want to try everything. And like, I just really freaking like cheese.
I just really freaking like cheese too.
I really like cheese and I will do a charcuterie board for dinner and I am happy. Very happy. So being able to like get the little bits, like the $5 bin of cheese ends just to go and get like 4 different cheeses and like a box of crackers. And I'm like, I'm eating classy tonight.
I am with you 100%. It's my favorite place.
Cheese.
Yeah, cheese. Charcuterie board. Yeah. I had this friend who I went to their house in Baltimore for Thanksgiving. We go every other year to their house. And one year the dude just drops off this giant charcuterie board. And we didn't eat anything but that for like 4 days. He just kept refreshing the cheeses with different cheeses and different fruits and different like crackers. And I was like,
I love that so much. Except I don't know if I would feel well after because I love cheese, but sometimes cheese doesn't like me.
Well, there was like fruit. Yeah. I mean, I was
if you can pepper in some fruits and nuts and then just drink a lot of water.
Yeah,
you're good.
For sure. But, and then we had Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh my lord.
But it was kind of amazing because we survived basically on charcuterie for like 3 or 4 days. It was great.
Honestly, that's a good Thanksgiving dinner. Like,
Yeah.
I would actually, no, maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't trade Thanksgiving dinner for charcuterie board.
But a charcuterie board with Thanksgiving dinner was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm there for that.
Have you ever had a supernatural event, seen a ghost or anything like that?
Oh, I wish. I think I have a ghost cat.
Oh, okay.
I have a cat. He's around here somewhere. His name is Salem. He's a black cat. But I think, I don't know, it might not happen. But I was in I live in a loft building. Our building is over 100 years old. They actually used to make Model T cars in our building.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really cool building. They would assemble them and like drive them down in like a corkscrew and then like ride out that way. But I've been living here for a long time, so I live in a big open space is basically what I'm saying. And so it's really old. And so people are like, oh, we see things all the time. And I'm like, I don't see things all the time. It's just open to it or whatever. But I was doing my makeup downstairs in the bathroom and I felt something rub past my leg. And it's usually my cat who jumps on the counter and is just there for like to be there. And so I remember I was doing my makeup and I was like, oh, hey, babe. And there was no cat. And I was like, oh, hey, oh, no. Just like said that to myself. And I was like, there's no cat. But I would not have had that instinct if I didn't feel that I thought that was Salem.
Yeah.
Ghost cat.
Ghost cat. I mean, if there were to be ghosts and I was to give up my atheism and believe in ghosts,
yeah,
I would believe in cats for sure.
Absolutely. I'd be right there with you, girlfriend. Yeah.
Cats are weird. I mean, I have 7, so
you have 7 cats?
Yeah. They have their own Instagram account. Gatos de Padawan.
Okay, well, I'll go find that. I will go follow that later. I didn't know that. I thought you had 1.
No, I have 7.
Cool.
7.
That's beautiful.
7 is too many.
That's a lot of cats. It reminds me of that scene in Bridesmaids where Melissa McCarthy's character is like, I took 9 dogs. It's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of poop is what it is. It's so much poop.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. Name one cool feature you would add to your dream house.
We're going to go with something real random, but it's going to be here. Well, I guess it's not that random considering what I do, but an airbrush booth.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
Yeah, I once again live in a building. So anytime I have to go and spray things, which is a lot, I have to go outside, and I don't like going outside because I live on a very busy street and it's just chaos. And so I want to airbrush and I want to spray paint and I want to do all this stuff, but I can't unless I want a really bad headache later. So to have something with really good ventilation is a dream of mine.
Do you know they have pop-up spray tan booths?
Yes. I have had that in my Amazon wish list for so long, but I got a lazy bum.
Yeah, okay.
So I should have bought it for this.
Yeah.
But it ended up working out okay because regular airbrushing, if I'm working it in a space where everything's kind of away, it's fine with my respirator and stuff. But like if I'm doing plasti dips and filler primer and stuff that's got like scent.
Plasti dip.
That's what I got to do right after this.
Spray plasti dip is like a godsend though. It fixes anything.
It is. It is so true. And now that I'm really into 3D printing, I'm doing a lot of more spray filler primer and like spray this thing, spray this. So I'm doing a lot more sprays. I need a better area for it.
Yeah. If given the option to time travel to your past and give yourself a 1-sentence piece of advice, what age would you choose to go to and what would you say?
I'd probably go to middle school years because Lord have mercy, those were rough. I would say I would definitely go to my 7th grade. 13, 12. I think that's how old I was. I got made fun of a lot for being an artist. So stupid now looking at it on a whole, but like I was really, really good. And so I spent a lot of time in the studio doing it. And so for some reason people decided to pick on me with that. And I thought it was not cool. So I kind of fell out of it until I got into high school and like started taking more art classes and like liking it again.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember not liking it because I got made fun of. So I would go back and be like, girl, what you're doing is awesome and things will be great.
Yes. And as an adult, you will be appreciated entirely for this thing.
You write books, you win competitions, you're doing good, keep going. That. Yes. That exactly.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm like, Doctor Strange is in here.
Oh, he's in there.
Oh, here's a Doctor Strange.
There's a Doctor Strange. Yeah.
All right, folks. Like, for reals, this is amazing. I'm just gonna I want to know how that happened.
Oh, that's Photoshop.
Yeah, but did you is there just random floating around, here's a thing?
You're gonna have to ask my photographer on that one.
Okay.
I didn't do that. So all the art in that book, pictures of me, are done by Alexandra Lee Studios, who is my best friend and also my photographer and photo editor. So that is her magic.
That is amazingly convenient.
It is. It really is.
Get yourself a photographer best friend, folks.
Honestly, it's yeah. If you've ever listened to the Chat Time podcast I have on my channel, that's her. So we are together all the time. She was over here watching WandaVision at 4 a.m. with me. So we collab a lot on everything. So it was really great and convenient when the publishing company reached out to me to write a book, and they're like, "So what are your photos like? We've seen a couple," and I'm like,
I got this.
I've got this.
Yeah.
And so and it was a instant click, and so
it's good too because you can toss your friend some work.
Yep, and I do all the time. I try my hardest, and I'm like, that's her, that's her, that's her. I get on people when they repost my stuff and they don't tag her, and I'm like, oh, take it down, or you tag her. Oh, get you.
Yeah, I mean, her photography is amazing. It
is. It's one of the reasons I think like cosplay. I mean, I like making stuff and everything, but also seeing the image at the end and being like, oh my god, I feel so good. Like, just feels it, keeps it going.
Cosplay photographers are like one of the most underappreciated parts of like there is no cosplay really without the photographer. I mean, there's convention stuff and you can go and like the people who are there will see you, but if you want to like actually show your costume off and like do cool stuff like that, like the photographer is it.
It is. And if you really want to accelerate yourself into cosplay, like competitions or writing a book or getting gigs with big companies, that's what they see. They don't meet you first. Some do. But, I've gotten stuff because people are like, I love that Doctor Strange image that was on the cover of a magazine. I'm like, that was half Alex and me. So I've gotten gigs from stuff like that just because of the photograph. So pay your photographers, get the good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. If there was a room filled with everything you've ever lost, what item would you be most excited to recover?
The endless amount of Barbie shoes I lost as a child. Okay, this is so niche. Hang on. Spice Girls, 1998. That was a big time in my life. I was a Ginger Spice stan. And I remember I was also really big into Barbie dolls, like really big into Barbie dolls. And I had the whole group, the whole Spice Girls group. But Jerry, she had her Union Jack dress and those red go-go boots. And my Barbie had that. Well, the Jerry Ginger Spice Barbie had that. And for some reason, I decided to take it with me to an event that mom and dad took us to, like some kind of thing. And I lost one of her go-go boots.
No, you can't get a replacement for one go-go boot.
Exactly. And this stands out in my head so much because I was really traumatized by losing one of her go-go boots.
Yeah.
My parents were like, I was like, but you can't. That's one. It's real niche, but like I remember that. So obviously it's a thing.
Wow. I've only ever owned 2 Barbie dolls in my life. I have one still. I have a Wonder Woman Barbie doll. Yeah, she's really precious. I got her at Comic-Con.
That's great.
Yeah. And I had one when I was little, and then my army men decapitated her and threw her head in the pool and gave her a butch haircut and like were super mean to her and tied her down and then threw her off a cliff. And my dad was pretty upset about that. So there was no more Barbie dolls after that.
Wow. Well, okay.
She was bossy. They didn't like her.
I understand.
They took care of that.
I understand. One of my Barbies had a raptor as a pet because I was
uh-huh.
really into Jurassic Park when it came out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have currently I have Wonder Woman Barbie. She's right there actually.
Yeah.
And then I also have a tiny Bernadette doll that someone made Bernadette, but Bernadette didn't have space for it in her apartment, so she sent it to me. So now there's this constant commentary between me and a bunch of my friends about Wonder Woman and Bernadette, little tiny Bernadette. They have arguments a lot. They have tea parties, and sometimes they're getting along and sometimes they're not, but they
I
have
love
discussions.
that.
They bond over the fact that neither one of them needs a man to be whole. But
I love that. I feel that way. I'm going to turn my camera over here because I actually have Queen Amidala Barbies.
Oh yeah,
right there. But one of them's actually from Mongolia because I have a really good friend who's from Mongolia, and so she went there a couple of years ago and brought me back a souvenir doll of the inspiration for that specific Queen Amidala design.
Wow.
And so yeah, they definitely have some interesting chats at night.
Yeah. I just love that there's like a running commentary of like, so are they getting along today?
Along, how they doing? There's tea spilled, so something happened.
Currently, Tiny Bernadette has her back turned to Tiny Wonder Woman. So
something went down.
Yeah, something went down. I'll have to ask them about it later. If you could have any artifact, piece of art, or thing from any art gallery, what would you have?
Let's see, what piece of art here on my mug? Honestly, it would probably be.
I want to point something out to you before you answer. There are Queen Amidala costumes in art exhibits.
There are.
Just saying.
I don't have anywhere to put that right now.
You don't have to have space for it. I'm just saying.
Okay, that's true. That's true. I don't know. Like, I like having. I really like wall art. And sculptures and things on mannequins are great, but I'm always really worried about dust.
Yep. Yeah.
And so I'm like, but for something about wall art and like being able to like sit and look at it, and that is in your perspective, just right in front of you. There's something I really like about that, and I think that's one of the reasons that I ultimately went for college for that. But I was a really big fan of. I love Dutch painters. Honestly, I studied Caravaggio for a long time, and because before I got into working with fabric and costumes on my models, I would recreate like scenes and people talking, and like to have a light source that illuminates one action like in a movie, so it rewrites the narrative. I thought was really interesting, and that's Caravaggio's work. So honestly, I'd probably have to pick a Caravaggio off the top of my head. I don't know him off the top of my head, but one of those here, or like a Vermeer. I love Vermeer. The paint work on that is just, it's luscious.
Yeah.
I love it. I love paintings, old paintings.
I keep saying the T-Rex statue from the Chicago Field Museum, Sue.
Oh yeah, that's a cool one. That's a big
I would put it on a rocking horse and let people ride it.
I love that. I like how you went there. You went made it interactive.
There's some archaeologists that are not happy with my statements that have left me comments.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But if I had a wall art, I would take either Starry Night for sure, because like whatever, or there's a Tissot painting of a woman like in a circus riding a horse with the like full circus outfit on. That's gorgeous. Beautiful.
I'd also probably put out there the Sunday Afternoon at the Park by the Pointillism.
Yeah. Okay.
Picture in the Chicago Museum.
Yep.
Why can I? That's not Surratt.
Do you got a wall for that?
No, I don't have a wall for that. But we're not thinking about that. Actually, I do have a wall for that because, I live in a big tall room, so maybe.
You have surprisingly little echo.
There's a lot of stuff in here.
Okay, yeah.
So it stops it. And also because when I moved in, it's very open. And the way our unit is made, there is actual rooms that look like little cubes that have doors. And then I'm actually on top of my kitchen. Oh. Loft space. This is a loft space. So like this is the ceiling. I can touch the ceiling.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right now.
Wow.
And yeah, so that's why this exposed pipe is right there. It's my air.
It's just some cosplay stuff.
No, I'd love to be able to move that. I bang my head on it every time I get up from my sewing machine. But I have really big tall walls, and the pictures that I did in school, I did like 7-foot tall paintings of dresses.
Oh, wow.
And so I have them hang up. So I could probably move one of those.
Wow. Are those anywhere that we can all see them?
They're on my personal Facebook page. But if you'd like to see them, I'll show them to you.
I would like to see them at some point. Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to see them. How long would you last in the zombie apocalypse?
Ooh, it depends on if I got my martial arts skill from earlier.
You think you could like karate chop their head off?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I had the right moves, I could. But I have some archery skills as well, so I feel like I would be able to last a little longer than most.
Okay.
But also, I like a lot of. I'm not a bug out bag person. I don't like to camp outside. I
don't like to camp either.
My family does. And when they take me, it's always, let's make a man to make the fire. And I'm like, okay. Indoorsy girl coming in. So yeah, I would like to think I'd last long, but probably not. La
Quinta is about as camp as I get. Yeah.
That's camp.
Yeah.
My family's had a lot of RVs and trailers, and that's our level of camp. I camped on the ground once, and that was the worst thing ever. But our camping is taking a trailer or an RV, so it's not. It's
slightly better.
Glamping. It's better. I have air conditioning, but still.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm. So, if you like archery, I'm going to bring this back to Breath of the Wild. It's a thing. It's a big thing, and it is.
I had heard. Yeah. I'll get into it. I promise, Noelle. I promise.
I'm starting my slow campaign.
I want to play it. It's just I have a very hard time with justifying my time.
Yeah.
This requires a lot of time.
So much time, and that's actually why it's taken me 4 years to play as much as I have, is because I haven't played anything else on my Switch really, because I want to play that game.
Yeah.
And I play that game for a few hours every 4 months.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of how I am right now. I'm more into Animal Crossing because I actually play Animal Crossing when I work out.
Oh,
so I can, play as I'm on the treadmill. So I'm more now, but that's the only time I really have to play a video game. Other times I have to be up here making stuff, or I'm video editing or working.
Yeah.
So,
I feel you. That's a mood. The 20th question is, if you were the captain of a pirate ship, what would be the name of your ship?
Our captain of the pirate ship, what would be their name? I'm gonna make it really random. It would probably be something like the Pink Fur.
Okay.
Because I like random and color, but also I feel like it would be menacing. So maybe the Black Fur.
The Black Fur. Okay.
All of us would have these fur pelts. Maybe it's some kind of Nordic pirate ship. Or a little more cold, so the pelts would make sense. Yeah. But it's also really random.
Were Vikings pirates?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Why not?
Why not?
They can be. I mean, in my opinion, a pirate is hey, you're on a ship and you steal a thing.
Yep.
You're a pirate.
if you can use the word commandeer,
yes,
you're a pirate.
I'm gonna commandeer your ship, pirate. Yeah. No, I'm a privateer. No, you're a pirate.
Yeah.
Would do something random like that, definitely, or some kind of hello there.
Yeah,
that would.
I would name my ship the Sassy Lass.
The Sassy Lass. I like that.
Yeah.
I will say maybe not my pirate ship, but if I had a real fancy yacht, I'd call it the Hello There.
Oh, hey, nice.
And have a weird chibi of Obi-Wan Kenobi next to it.
Okay. Yeah, I believe in truth in advertising, so the Sassy Lass it would be.
That's pretty great. I'd let you commandeer my ship.
Oh, excellent. Oh, we would have fun.
Can I be a part of the Sassy Lass?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet, let's go.
My ship would be inclusive and full of parties.
Oh, then I'm there.
Yeah.
Tell me what kind of tequila to bring. I'll bring it.
I would commandeer stuff and ships by saying, "Hi, if you share your stuff, we'll share ours."
And then just slightly push them off the edge. Bye.
Yeah.
We'll take your stuff now. Bye.
Or if you're a jerk, I would make you walk the plank.
Yes.
Yeah.
Walk that plank. Also disco off that plank. We're a party vibe here.
That's what I'm talking about. Disco balls hanging from the mast. That'd be amazing. Yeah.
Ooh, I feel like that would work well in our favor, except in sometimes the sun would reflect off our off our disco balls, and I feel like we would get in a lot of
I think we could have like mates, like fourth or fifth mates or something, who went up and put it in the rigging at night and then pulled it back down.
there we go.
We could have guys for that. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a captain, you have all sorts of minions. It's great.
Yes. The sassy lass. I love it. I'm there.
All right. Super controversial bonus question. Is a hot dog a sandwich, and why?
Oh my God. I knew this was happening. I would like to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
It is, because in my opinion, I've had this argument with my boyfriend so many times but it's mostly been is a taco a sandwich? That's been our argument. And we've gotten down to the point to where a taco is its own thing and sandwiches are the own thing. Therefore, something between bread is a sandwich. A hot dog is a sandwich. A taco is a tortilla.
Yeah, I agree with that. A hot dog is, people also try to tell me that a hot dog is a taco, and I'm like, you can get off my channel right now.
No, that's not, no. A tortilla, like, honestly, because people can be like, well, the ingredients of a tortilla and bread's similar. I'm like, not really, because with bread, you have to have like yeast and it has to rise and has to do all that stuff. I'm not a bread maker. I don't.
Well, there are some breads that don't require that, but there are like leavening agents that aren't yeast that help, like focaccia and like I would say a pita could still be a sandwich.
Yeah,
and that doesn't have yeast in it.
I would agree with that.
But a tortilla, first of all, don't insult Mexico like that.
Right. Let them have the tortilla. Like,
tacos are the world's most perfect food.
They seriously are, and I can't stress anybody about that. I love tacos. It's a problem. But yeah, taco is a taco. Hot dog is a sandwich. And I feel like I'm gonna have that stink on me next time I visit Chicago, because the Chicago dog is a thing.
It is. I get yelled at about it a lot.
Mm-hmm. And I love a Chicago dog.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think it's a sandwich. I'm on team sandwich.
So the place I go to get a Chicago dog, I can't actually eat mustard, like I'm allergic to it. The place that I go to get a Chicago dog puts, I'm going to say this, and I need everybody in the comments to calm the F down. I'm just saying what this is. You don't need to comment about it. They put ketchup on the dog. And
wait, where do you go for that? In Chicago? They put ketchup?
I don't live in Chicago. I live in California.
Okay. I misheard that completely.
Right. Yeah, but like the people from Chicago that are watching this right now are freaking out. Yeah. I can tell you, they are like, "Oh my God, that is not a Chicago dog." Like I can't even tell you in the comments. Yeah, Chicago's
only 5 hours away from me right now. They are raging.
The city is burning again. Like it's not good. So yeah. They get real upset about it. And so I said something about it. Man, did I get trolled in my comments? Like, you would not believe. Like, I don't get trolled in my comments very often. That is a memorable.
That is interesting. Like, I get it. Food, for some reason, gathers some real strong opinions with anyone about anything. And I think it's because it's a universal language.
Yeah.
That honestly, if you're mad about a food, someone's gonna like get over it at some point.
Yeah.
Versus, like, if you're arguing about political opinions, that's not gonna go.
Right.
Gonna keep that. But with food, I think that's why people get so hot, because they can, and it's okay in a way, unless you insult somebody, and it's, don't do that. That's mean. But that's kind of dumb. I'm sorry.
I have an interesting piece of analytics for you.
Go for it.
Historical costumers say no, it is not a sandwich. Cosplayers say yes, it is a sandwich.
We eat a lot of them at conventions.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. I've learned through the YouTube and the social medias that there's a large difference between the historical costumer and the cosplay community.
Yeah,
and I can see that now that you say that.
Mm-hmm. I am the Venn diagram layover between those things, because I do cosplay in a historical context.
Yeah. I want to get into doing more of it. I just have a very strong hold of fandoms that are happening now. So like Like because I'm doing Rose, that's probably going to be the most historical thing I'm going to be ever doing. I do have like an idea for a Doctor Strange, 18th century Doctor Strange.
Yes.
And that's going to be super cool. I'm so freaking nervous about it because
It's going to be great.
That's a lot of fabric.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. But like that's kind of where I head, and then I go back into my cosplay fandom stuff. But I want to learn more about it, and I am. But it's just something I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go do another Ahsoka. I'll go do this. You
could do an Ahsoka bustle dress. I'm just saying.
I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying.
Actually, I do have an idea for an 1890s Baby Yoda.
Yes. Big sleeves.
Yes, it's big sleeves. Yeah, big sleeves. And I kind of half designed it last year, but then when the pandemic hit, I was like, I don't want to do anything. And then it's like half designed on my iPad, but it's got some really cool like tones of browns and light greens, and it looks really neat. I want to be able to do it, but man, after seeing WandaVision finale and
oh my god,
fandoms and their outfits.
Her costume.
Yeah, I know. I can't.
Her costume. Like I just sat there like they only show it to you for like 2 minutes, and I'm just like, all right, I'm feeling every cosplayer hitting pause, going like, okay.
Seriously, I was like, I love it, except one thing, I'm not a fan of sleeveless, and that's because of this woman. I'm just not. We all have our body issues with whatever, and sleeveless is my thing. I'm not a fan of showing my arms. And so when she had a sleeveless outfit, I was like,
have you considered going the ice skating route?
Huh?
So ice skaters aren't ever sleeveless either. They have that body mesh that makes your arm perfect.
Yes, I did do that for Katana.
Yeah.
I actually tore up some old dance tights and had that right here connecting my armbands down here to my bodice, and it worked great, and I love it. It's just internet comments don't like it, so I avoid it. So, and then but I'll have to think about it for Wanda's outfit. It looks really cool, and it very, very much is along the similar lines how I made my Captain Marvel with all the different fabrics for that. But that looks hard to make. Good Lord.
There's so many intricate pieces to that. Like they went around behind her at one point, and I'm like, oh, good, they're showing the back. And I was just like, oh my god, that build is crazy.
It's nuts, and I am looking so forward to seeing who's going to start tackling it. It won't. If I do it, it's way down the line. Honestly, I'd rather just wait for Doctor Strange 2 concept art to see what my man's wearing and then make that. But I think that build for Wanda is like an intense build.
Yeah, I bet you there's already orders out there for.
Oh yeah, I've already seen people looking around for 3D files of her crown. I'm like, guys, it just premiered. Calm down.
Yeah, give everybody a minute. They were really good about not leaking that photo.
They were, honestly, but we saw it the whole time. This section of her bodice was in the poster for WandaVision. Yeah,
that's true. That is true.
The color was changed slightly, but so I was like, Marvel, you sly dog.
Yeah, they're really good at that. They're so good at that.
Man, I would like to work on a Marvel film, a Star Wars film someday too. That's an ultimate goal someday. But
I have this friend called Becky. Oh, man, I gotta get Becky on here. She works at a prop house in LA, and the props that she makes are for Marvel things. And so she's like a sewer in the prop house. So she makes like rigging, and like in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like anytime anyone has a harness or like a thing that attaches to their back with magnets, or like if you slap your gun there and it just sticks, that's her. She's doing that kind of stuff. But then she also has like painted a Captain America shield. She helped wire the Infinity Gauntlet to glow. Her shop built the thing that they launched, what's his name, Zandu.
Wait, Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, when the funeral happens, there's like a tube.
Yondu.
Yeah, Yondu.
Yeah.
So his light up, that whole like launch out thing, they built that. Like she gets to work on that kind of stuff all the time, and I'm just like,
I would be there in a heartbeat, except for one reason: it's in LA.
Yeah,
I don't want to live in LA.
it's actually in the valley. It's even worse.
Just don't know if I could afford it.
Yeah. Oh, the valley's not too bad. The valley,
Okay.
but
That gives me
also
a little bit of hope.
everything is also relative. Like, I mean, I live in Silicon Valley and people are like, oh my God, you get paid that much. I'm like, yeah, but my house also costs that much. Like,
Yeah,
you earn what you spend in the place that you're at. So if you moved to LA and you had that job, you would earn more money. So like,
that makes me feel better. Because
yeah,
I've thought about because Atlanta has a bunch
yeah,
of
Marvel
prop
stuff.
houses and the studios and Pinewood and all that. Yeah. Oh, it's been in my head. Someday I that's one of my life goals, get my name in movie credits somehow, even if it's
Yeah.
for catering. There.
Yeah. Yeah, Atlanta's a great place to go too, and that's actually pretty cheap. So yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Thank you for joining me today, Amanda. I will leave a list of all of her accounts down below so that you guys can go check her out and show her love and buy her book.
Yes.
If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up and leave me comments down below letting me know what you guys are up to and what you're working on and all that kind of stuff. And I will see you later with another video. Bye, guys.